This is 3 Shots In.
You're going to tell us about the serial killer in the woods you found.
I didn't have a serial killer in the woods. There's no serial killing happening. In fact, there is no provable death at all.
So people go missing.
No one said that. So I found a blog, okay?
All right.
And this was a blog post, which had it was multiple posts. I think this person was trying to milk this incident.
Okay.
So that more people would read it. And unfortunately, I was one of the suckers, but here we go. My name is Li Ming. I'm a software engineer. Okay, I'm not going to do the I thing. I just can't do that. Whatever. So Li Ming, he's a software engineer who was working in Denver, Colorado. Okay.
All right.
Loved hunting, outdoor survival. They would go on expeditions. They were, of course, near the Rocky Mountains, so they would go during their holidays, whenever they got time off of work, they would go, fucking Rocky Mountains and go hunting and being outdoorsy and whatever. Mm-hmm. So in October, he invited his 2 friends, Wang Gang and Zhang Wei.
Wang Gang?
Wang Gang and Zhang Wei.
Wow.
Yes. So all 3 of them, they had planned this 3-day hunting trip together, and they were going to have just so much fun.
Just a blast.
So much fun. A blast. Funny you say that. So they drove to a remote area. They parked their car and, got all their equipment and their food, and they started their little journey. All right. So their plan was to build a temporary camp inside of the forest. And then they would, split up from the camp in separate directions, hunt for, small game. Maybe one of them gets a deer or something. Nothing huge. They were just having fun. And then they had food, so they didn't need to get food. But if they got a kill, they would eat it. Cool. They all had night vision binoculars so that they could go hunting when it was a little dark out, maybe early in the morning, whatever. So on the first night, they didn't catch anything. They had, some squirrels and birds, really nothing to eat, right? But no problem. They returned to camp. They ate the food that they had brought. They chatted around the campfire. That's when Wang Gang said that he wanted to try night hunting. Okay, they had the night vision goggles. He was I can go out at night for sure.
Okay.
And he wanted to see if he could encounter the larger animals at night.
The predators?
Just larger animals. So...
Why aren't you being specific?
So Li Ming and Zhang Wei were like, dude, no. Wang Gang, come on.
Bruh.
That's definitely not the move.
Okay.
And they said that it was too dangerous and that, he probably shouldn't do it, that it goes against the quote unquote hunting ethics. Don't really know what that is, but I'm not a hunter. So
sure.
Who cares? Anyway, they advised him not to do it, but he was like, I'm Wang Gang. I do what I want.
He is Wang Gang.
So he was like, fuck it. I'm going out. He promised them that he wouldn't shoot recklessly or whatever. And they agreed, and they told him just be careful and return to the camp within half an hour or so. And Wang Gang was like, dope. And he left. He brought his rifle and his night vision binoculars. So Li Ming and Zhang Wei continued chatting around their campfire. They were waiting. About half an hour went by, and Wang Gang still hadn't returned.
Oh.
So they, weren't necessarily worried. They were just like, okay, this fucker is retarded and didn't show up on time. So they, walkie-talkied him, tried to get a hold of him, and there was no response. So they thought maybe he went too far and the signal wasn't working. They decided, whatever, we'll just wait a little bit longer, see what's going on. So another 10 minutes goes by, and they hear a very loud noise in the distance.
Uh-oh. Like a gunshot?
Like an explosion.
Yes. I understand now.
Yes.
When I said that they were just trying to have a blast.
They were just having a blast.
Uh-huh.
Yes, they were. So obviously they were, kind of scared. It startled them. They were calling Wang Gang on the walkie-talkie, trying to ask him what happened. And this time, Wang Gang answered. He was very panicked, very frightened, very short of breath. And he was shouting, come and save me, come and save me.
Where are you, though?
He continued to say that he found a small plane wreckage with lots of cash, but also some dead people who look like drug dealers or smugglers. Now, at this point, we are paraphrasing. This is what their memory was as to what happened.
Sure.
So he said that he wanted to take photos as evidence.
This is what Wang Gang's memory?
This is what Wang Gang said that Li Ming and Zhang Wei heard.
Uh-oh.
Yes. So he said that he wanted to take some photos of the site. He didn't know that the plane was going to explode. He doesn't know why it exploded. Maybe there was a bomb. I don't know. When it suddenly...
Come and save me.
Suddenly, it just exploded. And it launched him. And his leg is injured. And now people are shooting at him.
What?
He said that these people want to kill me. Come and save me now. So obviously, Li Ming and Zhang Wei are like, dude, what the fuck? What is going down? Wang
That's
Gang.
a lot of information to take in.
Yeah, Wang Gang, what the fuck? So they did not believe that any of this was true, but they were hearing it. So like it's weird. They asked him where he was. He said he didn't know. He just remembered that he had walked along a stream for a long time when he saw the wreckage of the plane. So they asked him if there were any like landmarks or whatever. They're gathering up. They're walking towards the sound, but they just want like landmarks, I guess, to help guide them. Anyway, he pointed out, or he said that he had walked past a large rock with the number 7 engraved on it. And this was similar, I guess, to other landmarks in the forest. So like they set up like hunting zones.
Okay.
And so he was in zone number 7, so they know exactly where to go now. They had assumed that Wang Gang was near that area. They told him that they would be there in just a few minutes and that he should hide in a safe place and not move.
That's good advice.
They grabbed their weapons and they left their camp running towards Wang Gang's direction. So apparently they were keeping in touch on the walkie-talkie. I don't know how smart that is with, guns firing.
People firing at Wang Gang and actively looking for him.
So they were asking him about his situation. He said that his leg was bleeding, that he was weak and was probably going to pass out.
Okay.
They were hearing gunshots as they got closer. They were pretty sure that Wang Gang was dead if he wasn't already. It took them about 10 minutes before they saw the landmark that was the large rock with the number 7. Mm-hmm. They continued along the stream there and saw ahead the wreckage of the plane. Now, this plane was, in fact, blown up. There were metal fragments everywhere. There were flames kind of just scattered, right?
Okay.
Bodies were also seen.
Oh my God.
Scattered in the area. Some of which they said that they could see, obviously in the moment it wasn't a thought, but afterwards, clearly passengers or crew. So like they could see, maybe like saw like a captain's like patch on his arm or something, whatever. But people were straight up dead. And they said that others that arrived to the scene, they would identify as, quote, criminals.
Ah.
Yes. So they also saw, along with the flames and the metal and the bodies, cash. Just kind of scattered everywhere. They saw US dollars as well as Mexican pesos.
Ruh-roh.
Yes, this would be a case related to drugs and smuggling.
The cartel.
Cartel shit. So they didn't have time to worry about these things. They said they were like, dude, we just got to get to Wang Gang. We just got to get the fuck out of here.
Get him the fuck out of here.
Yeah. So they called him on his walkie-talkie, asked him where he was. He said he was at the back of the plane hiding behind a large tree. They kind of...
Oh, so he's still answering.
He's still alive.
Okay.
So they kind of walk along the like tree line over to where he is, and they get to him. No one sees them. They don't really see anyone at the same time. So they get to Wang Gang and they wrap his leg. There's blood all over the place. Like he was clearly wounded pretty severely.
So he said he was close to the plane inspecting the wreckage when it exploded and he was like flung?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, the explosion sent him like flying. So when they were helping him, he passed out. So pretty severe blood loss. There was metal fragments in his leg, which was the deep wound that was causing such heavy bleeding. Obviously, they managed to stop the bleeding, so they probably tourniquet his leg. They picked him up over their shoulders, and they started heading back towards their camp. Now, it was at this moment when they heard more gunshots.
Okay.
And you know that like whizzing sound of bullets coming by your head?
Flying past you.
Yeah.
I don't know it very well, but I've heard it in movies and on YouTube videos.
Well, they were scared.
What the fuck is going on?
So they said that the people shooting at them appeared to look Mexican or Hispanic or Latin. They don't really know.
Okay.
But they were wearing black leather jackets and jeans. So not necessarily out hunting
like
equipment.
The Outsiders?
Sure.
Okay.
Think more it stood out because they weren't wearing like hunting gear.
Oh, okay.
They were in like regular clothes.
Well, I thought of like full-blown like mafia suits. So that's different from what I pictured.
I mean, that'd be cooler wearing some like zoot suits. Okay. Well, the people were yelling at them as they shot at Li Ming, Zheng Wei, and Wang Gang. They hid behind a tree. They were firing back at the people shooting at them. They said that, afterwards, clearly their rifles were able to do more damage than, the criminal pistols.
Maybe handguns they
shooting
had.
at them. They were shooting them with handguns.
Okay.
He said that two of them, or they had hit two people. Don't know if they killed them. They just know that their bullets connected with two people. And that they fell to the ground, that the rest of the people basically were like, oh shit, and went to take cover.
Okay.
And kind of hide. And they took this as an opportunity to pick up Wang Gang and get the fuck out of there.
Okay.
So they did.
Did he die on the way?
So they ran back to camp with Wang Gang. Mm-hmm. They put him in his sleeping bag, gave him water, gave him painkillers.
Yeah.
Called 911 on their phones. Right now, I guess they have service out in the middle of nowhere. Anyway, they had requested help. They gave their location and the whole nine. Anyway, helicopter shows up. And it wasn't just a normal helicopter, okay? Because coming out of the helicopter
were the cartel members.
No.
Surprise, bitch. Okay.
Was FBI.
Okay.
So FBI helicopters aren't just, lying around.
No.
So this was clearly something was going down, right? So an FBI agent came out of the helicopter. He had said that they were investigating the plane crash. So I don't know if...
Do you think they shot down
maybe
the cartel
they shot
plane?
it down.
And that's why they basically knew about it beforehand?
Yes, I don't know.
That could also explain why the cartel was on the offensive immediately.
Yes. Mind you, at this time, Wang Gang was loaded up and was taken. Like, they kind of skip over that part.
But he was taken to get medical attention.
Yes, homie had a big ass piece of metal stuck in his leg.
Right.
Like, he needed to go to the hospital or else he was going to lose his leg.
Okay.
So they had asked, or the FBI agent had asked them how they discovered the plane. They told him the whole story. He said they were very lucky to have survived and escaped. That the people shooting at them were more than likely members of a, quote, international drug smuggling group. A cartel, without saying cartel.
Right. Basically, almost literally the definition of what a cartel.
A cartel.
Without saying the word.
Now, mind you, this group wasn't just a regular cartel, Jessica.
Oh my gosh.
Because they wouldn't just bring drugs from Mexico to the United States. Except that's exactly what they did. It's just a cartel.
It's a cartel.
It's a cartel. Anyway, so the plane had crashed in the forest due to a engine failure, they believed. So maybe they didn't shoot it down.
Okay.
And that they had sent a team in, cartel had sent a team in to recover the shit that was in the plane FBI was also tracking the plane. And so also was like trying to figure out where the fuck this plane was.
Right.
Now, Li Ming, Wang Gang, he did survive, by the way.
Oh, good.
And Zhang Wei would all testify in this huge case that would hurt this cartel. Now.
Oh. Is tragedy on the rise?
Maybe, maybe not. So I was like, okay, that was wild. What a wild fucking story. Mm-hmm. Could not find it anywhere except for this blog.
I mean,
which shows me one of two things.
Okay.
And mind you, I looked back like decades looking for Rocky Mountain, plane, shooting, Li Ming, Wang Gang, Zhang Wei. Like, I mean, so many keywords and something must have popped up. Nothing did.
Is that really a surprise, though?
No. All it means is either this story was completely and 100% made up, or this was legitimate and recent enough that it is fucking silent because there is a big ass shit going down and the US government is like shutting this the fuck up.
Yeah. Yeah.
One of those two things is likely what is going down.
It's probably that.
Because I spent about an hour trying to find a legitimate news article of anything about a plane crashing in the Rocky Mountains.
Right.
And Li Ming, Wang Gang, or Zhang Wei being there. Could not find anything.
Who wrote this blog?
This was on wildgarter.com.
Okay.
Which is a website that sells specifically hunting gear, but it's also like a place, like they have a blog where like any hunter can post stuff, like a hunter's Reddit.
Okay.
It was posted
like
there,
swap stories.
but it was posted March 28th of 2023, which is like 2 weeks ago.
That's very recent.
Yeah.
So this happened recently.
Either it happened recently or the
They
story
didn't talk about it till recently.
was recently, talked about. It was posted then. Doesn't mean it happened then. But I mean, technically the story was dated March 24th. Even though it was posted on the 28th, it was the actual story, like the blog, the person dated it March 24th. So maybe it just happened.
The article or the event?
Whoever wrote the blog started with the date. It said March 24th.
And then the story began.
Yes.
My goodness.
Yeah.
Doesn't it sound like a comedy action movie?
The only comedy was Wang Gang was his name.
No, but doesn't it sound like the kind of comedy where three dudes go out and they're like
without a paddle?
Yeah. But then they run into a cartel.
Yeah.
And then they have to like deal with FBI afterwards.
Yeah. Could happen. I can see it.
It sounds like the
Fucking
premise of an
Tropic Thunder.
action comedy. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, who knows? I'm sure if we hear nothing about this ever, then it was fake. If 3 years from now we see a story about a cartel shoot up in the fucking Rocky Mountains, then Li Ming, Wang Gang, and Zhang Wei were correct.
Wow. Good for you for remembering all those names.
I know. Look at me.
You said them rapid fire too. Do it again.
I did. Li Ming, Wang Gang, Zhang Wei.
Mix up the order.
Wang Gang, Zhang Wei, Li Ming.
Wow.
Wang Gang, Li Ming.
Good for you.
Thank you.